Hey, what's going on? Today we're going to be teaching you how to take off the M2 top stage. So it's pretty simple. It's almost a plug-in system minus a couple screws. But the first things first, I would always recommend that you stay docked. Don't immediately be on your balance pin. And this will give us just a strong base to work. So first things first, you're going to be taking off these 6 top screws with your 3/32 Allen key. And then this last screw is going to be right here. This is the 9/64 screw. It's a little bit bigger of an Allen key. This guy, you don't back all the way out, you just kind of loosen it. It's the final collar that holds everything together. So I'm just gonna break some of that tension so it's a little bit looser. And then I'll get in here with my other end, just to where it's nice and loose. Now that we have all the screws backed out and this main one is loosened, we can just start kind of rocking that guy off because it's basically just plugged in on the top. And you might find that your tilt stage, I'm not like just jamming it up, I'm just kind of gently rocking it nice and off this plug here. Tilt stage, while you're taking those screws off, you might notice that you might need to tilt it, engage your tilt stage a little bit to access some of those screws. But once you kind of work that guy off, like I said, it's just a plug on the top, and that releases your top stage there. Now that you got your top stage off, it's important to be really careful because now there's no more safety stop that would prevent if I unlock this gimbal from the whole thing sliding off from it. But I almost forgot, it's a little bit different if you have a 158 diameter post versus a 175. So if you have a 158 diameter, you're actually also going to need to pop off this little silver collar. And how you do that is, if you want to come around and show this, there's actually another 6 screws on this very top that's holding this little collar in place. So I'm just going to pop those guys off real quick, and then the rest of this thing should be able to just slide off. If you have a 175, it'll just be flush with the rest of the post, and you can basically skip this step. So rather than having this guy on a dock and then trying to slip it back up, I'm just having this guy on a solid surface or on some kind of legs where it's stable or a table. Then I'm going to slip that gimbal back down over. Make sure you have your gimbal clamp open while you do that. Otherwise, it's not going to slip over. So now that gimbal's on, I'm just going to lock that. I'm going to lock that gimbal clamp down. Now this guy is back on and solid, and let's bring it back over to the dock. So now you are at a very critical point because you've just now taken your full top stage off, and if you were a 158, you took that top collar off, meaning that now there's no safety on the top that would stop this gimbal if I unlocked it, okay? So how we're gonna get this thing off is very, very carefully. It would be better if you didn't have batteries or monitor because that would make this thing a lot more bottom heavy. Ideally, you want this guy as light as possible because you're eventually going to be catching this weight, okay? So I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to cup the bottom of the rig. I'm now fully supporting the weight of the rig. And then I'm going to bring my hand up and unlatch this as though I'm moving the gimbal up and down the post. Again, I'm holding the full weight of the rig, right? And now, as I extend down, you'll see the top of this start getting smaller and smaller, and then you'll be able to just work it right down the gimbal. Now I'm holding the full weight of the rig now, and the gimbal just remains on the dock. So now I can set this guy down and just get working on my gimbal. Now, if for whatever reason you need to send your gimbal in, or you are looking to do, say, a Volt 3 upgrade and you need to slip a new gimbal on over, this is about how you would get your gimbal shipped to you. You would do the steps that we did previously. You'd slip that one off, slip your new gimbal on, and then just repeat the process in reverse. Let's do that now. You're gonna wanna align it with these two on those two where they're closer. Now, as you put on the top stage, there's going to be 2 pegs, here and here. And that's going to line up with this collar on the back here and right here to make sure that everything is in alignment. And that's it. Once you have all of those screws nice and snug in and you have this guy tightened down to a good point, you don't have to wrench on it, but just make sure that it's nice and tight. I like to just have one last little jiggle and make sure that there's no play anywhere and everything is nice and rock solid. And that's it. Your rig is fully back to being reassembled and you should be good to go.